Welcome, everybody. This is going to be the first episode of the Peachy Pod, as we're going to be calling it, where I will be going through and interviewing and asking a bunch of questions to different members of the Peachy organization, from org owners, team captains, players, just to give you a bit of an insight of what's going on in the Peachy org, and just for you guys, whether you're in the org or not in the org, to get an idea of who's actually in it and why it's a great place to be a part of. Luckily, tonight I've been brought by the stiffest AR in the scene, the man who owns B-Dom Tank in Invasion, Mr. Ludo, one-third owner of Peachy E Sports. How you doing, buddy?
Grand. I'm doing grand. A little bit worse now. You said I'm the stiffest. I would like to say I'm the second stiffest.
I mean, let's just be honest. Everyone says it. We all know it.
Yeah.
And it's for the right reasons, to put it that way.
I'm clinging on to something. Yeah, that's me.
So first of all, are you nervous? You're the first one on.
Nervous for podcast? Never nervous.
I mean, I won't lie. I'm nervous. This is the first time I've done a podcast, so I'm hoping this goes smooth sailing and we don't mess it up too much. This is where Pred comes in and saves us if it does.
This is first take as well, so if this has to go, this could be like weeks before it actually gets released.
Yeah, if this goes live, it's perfect. Like, we're done. We're not doing another one. Right, so we got a few things we're gonna dissect. We're gonna go through a bit about you, a bit about Peachy, and just some fun stuff as well, because we don't want it all to be like that's a lot of information to take in. We want to know the fun things as well, which is part of the reason why hopefully more people will want to do this. So first things, tell us about you. We want to know you. Like, give us the story of Ludo, not in necessarily in the comp scene. Like, just tell us about you. Like, school, work. What do you do?
Cool, yeah, I attended that. Obviously started in primary education, as most people do, from the age of 4, I think, might have been 3. A long time ago. But yeah, through school, did all the exams, went to secondary school, did all what I had to do there. Didn't really know what I wanted to do. Got the grades to go to sixth form, still had no idea what to do. Ended up doing that. Got the grades to go to uni, still didn't know what I wanted to do. So just turned up to uni because it was easier than not doing anything. Keeping the parents happy, And then at uni, I had an epiphany saying, I don't want to do this. So I changed. I just started working, earning some money while I figure out what I wanted to do. And then in the end, I settled on doing exactly what I was doing all along in uni. Just working. But I do it for the Air Force, so I've got military background as well. Still currently serving, obviously coming up 6 years in February. And yeah, just enjoying the time, doing what I can, doing my bit. Hobbies wise as well, alongside that, I'm a football player, play football since pretty much I started running. So probably at age 5, played 7-a-side competitive till I was old enough to do 11s, played 11-a-side, still play 11-a-side, play a local team around here, one up home, play for the station I'm at for the Air Force. Won a lot of trophies, also lost a lot of trophies, lost a lot of finals. I think I must have made over 1,000 appearances in my life now. not a goal scorer.
That's fair.
A goal blocker, defender.
That's fair. So would you say that you use most of your activity outside, and that's why you're a stiff AR?
Probably, yeah. I've been rather tired, and then I'm just like, why? I've been running all day. I don't want to be running about on the game as well. I'll just stand here and get all the kills. They can come to me.
That's fair. Do you know what? I rate that. I rate that 100%. Awesome. So that's a bit of your background, which is amazing. How did you get into Call of Duty?
Good story. I started playing Call of Duty at the age of 8. Okay. Me and my dad on Call of Duty 2 he had his own server, so I used to just jump on with him, and from there we used to just play. It was always a Sunday night before going into school Monday. Used to get on about 6 till about 9 o'clock, just 3 hours, but it was a great time. We just really enjoyed it, and then it was like, all right, I got my first console, got an Xbox 360, and then, oh yeah, I got COD 4, then I got World at War, and then I got online for the Xbox when I hit secondary school. and it was like, all right, let's play some World at War online. And then I started enjoying it. It was like, all right, this is fun. Then MW2 hit, and everybody loved that game, so I was always on that, like getting told off all the time, like, you play this too much, you play this too much, you're wasting your life. It's like, yeah, but I enjoy it. And then from there, it's like I've had COD every single year. Went off it for a while. And just stopped playing it altogether. Just started playing FIFA and only playing FIFA. Obviously, with the football and background, it's FIFA's just a game. Like I can play football, but not have to move about as much. So it was a bit of that. And but yeah, I think more recently, probably Black Ops 3. At end of Advanced Warfare, started Black Ops 3. I started getting back into COD again, mainly on the game battles, RIP. And at the time it was UMG. I started playing a lot of them, getting some S&DC knowledge, just learning to play the game, just playing. I got pretty bored of playing casual pubs, so I thought, what's the next step? All right, we'll go play some competitive S&D. Obviously, not for money because never been good enough. So it was like, all right, we'll go play some XP, something different, like something I can play with my friends, and something that I'll exercise the brain at the same time. And then it must have been Vanguard. I played my first league in the ACCL, and that was pretty fun. I think we came fourth, if I'm not mistaken. We won a few, lost, and then obviously lost in playoffs. And then I didn't play any leagues after Vanguard until season 3 of last year.
Nice.
Now I'm back playing leagues.
Oh, awesome. So been around the block for quite a bit then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think every Call of Duty player hits that plateau where they start doing really well at pubs, and then they kind of go, where do I go next? Like, well, what's the next thing for me? Because I know I did it, like, very, very long time ago. I was like, yeah, I'm shredding these kids. What's the next like step for me to go to like have a better experience playing the game?
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like things become stagnant after a while, and once things become stagnant, it's like you're less likely to want to do it. So competitive for me was like, all right, this is brand new. Like we're going to be playing different people. We're going to be playing different things. There's different ways to do things, and there's actually you get a bit more return out of it than just like virtual XP into a game. You
Yeah.
get virtual XP on a website, which is something completely new. But then it's like also the social media bragging rights. So when you play against somebody, you beat somebody, or you drop good kills against somebody that's more known, you can have a laugh, put that on the timeline, get a lot of bites out the scene, and little things like that.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously you've played like a wide variety of different Call of Duties. I know you had a bit of a break in there as well, but that's fine. What is your favorite Call of Duty that you've played?
My favorite Call of Duty, well, I would say my favorite all-time Call of Duty has to be Black Ops 3 because
Great
that was
choice.
the one that got me into actual competitive and give me a new light on Call of Duty in general. I would also like to stick COD 2 up there because that was just mega fun. Obviously, it's their throwback memories of just sat there playing with my dad, having a great time.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
He's retired now, so
he's got more time to play than you.
Yeah, exactly.
Does he still play?
He doesn't play.
See, I'm sure there's a team you can get him on. Definitely, for sure. Get him as a coach. He's been around.
He's a keyboarder.
Okay.
He can't get away with the choice.
Says it all. Okay, so like I said, wide variety of CODs different played. Favorite map that you've ever played? Doesn't have to be comp-wise. Just favorite map that you just thought, this is just great. I'm just owning this map.
Favorite map I've ever played? I could probably give you a top 5.
All right, let's have a top 5.
Okay. Right, this is in no particular order as well. Like I'm just going through my brain.
If you say shipments, I will not be happy.
I love Breach.
Okay.
Black Ops 3. It's a solid map. And along with the Black Ops 3 Redwood.
Yeah. Oh, that was such a good S&D map.
I'll move it back to Call of Duty 2, Tujon Tunisia.
Okay.
An epic map. Absolutely epic. When Uh, to be honest, if that came back, I think people would enjoy it. People would obviously think it's a new map.
Yeah, it's true. It's been so long.
Yeah, it's been that long because they brought back Corentin in one of the older CODs. I think it was maybe Black Ops 4, maybe Cold War,
Okay.
maybe Vanguard, somewhere around that region.
Yeah.
And people were loving it, saying, "Oh, I love this new map." And I'm like, "I played this on COD 2. You used to be able to jump through this window, and the whole thing was glitched." And then, if you want two more maps, I've got to go with pub something wise. You got to go with Rust. Rust was such a good map.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Yeah. And then just to round it off, try and think of a interesting map. We'll go with Infinite. Oh, actually no, not Infinite Warfare. We'll go with Ghosts, Warhawk, purely for S&D.
Oh, yeah. Is that the one with the street down the middle?
The big straight down.
Yes, that was
Very
great.
similar layout to Standoff, except a little bit smaller, more condensed. And it had the tank in the middle.
Yeah, I remember it.
The fences up the left side you could sneak through. It was so good.
Yeah, that was a very good. I remember the one thing that like I always remember about Ghost is like every AR running like a thermal AR.
Yeah,
I was just like, stop
that
it.
was me.
Of course it was. Why am I not surprised? Okay, well, talking of thermal ARs, favorite gun across the series?
Oh, favorite gun. That's interesting.
I've got mine is the UMP-45 from Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
That is mine because that gun was just disgusting.
Favorite gun. The gun I had most fun with was probably the M8A7 from Black Ops 3.
The burst rifle. That was that was the comp weapon.
Okay.
Oh,
When that was 4 burst,
oof.
you got 1 burst speed. Obviously, me and the connection I've got, it was really, really ideal because I would just see someone. It turned into a sniper at one point where I would just look at somebody, 4 bullets would connect and they're dead, and it was just so fun.
And
especially in S&D, you're in a 1v1, the guy's top barn in fringe and you're top granny, and you just see him peek, you put 4 bullets into his head from 1 burst and he's gone. And it's like, yeah, that's it. That's
like,
what I know.
game over. It's mine.
You don't get any other satisfaction with it.
Yeah. So, moving on to still on the COD side of things. Now, obviously, Call of Duty has changed a lot over its time. We've gone from like it was clans. Now we're obviously we were in the CWL. Now we're in the CDL area. What has been your favorite team to support?
Favorite team to support? Rogue Shout was, I need to get this right before I make an idiot of myself, was the team in, I think it was Advanced Warfare going into Black Ops 3, and it was Nagafen, Looney, Facento, that team.
Was that Rise? Was that Rise Nation? Elevate.
The old Elevate. I think there might have been Rise at one point.
I know Looney was on Rise for a very long time during Black Ops 3, because Rise were a very like dark horse team. Like people would always count them out, but then they'd always just doing like a massive upset on the day or something. That was always their kind of like their move. They
had all the S&D stars, so it was like they would always win the S&D. So we were seeing them up forward, and it was one of those. If they took a respawn, they would win the series no matter who they played because their Search and Destroy was that good.
Yeah, you just know Nagafen would be on Redwood hitting the lower routes every single time.
Nagafen with the MR6 as well with that trigger finger was something else.
That's very true. That is very true. So finally, favorite Call of Duty Pro. I'll let you do current or retired.
Current or retired.
Or one of if you have one of each, you can use both. That's fine.
Retired, it's got to be Scum. I think he's everybody's favorite. To be honest, he's got a lot of people. It's more so what he's done for a lot of people. But give them like a path to getting in to being a pro, showing them that like if you actually start out and start doing this and following these steps, like this is how I did it, so this is what anyone else can do. And I would say the same for Nadeshot as well. Like Nadeshot worked in McDonald's before becoming a COD pro.
Yeah.
Now look at him. It's success beyond success, really. But I think my favourite current player, I'm trying to remember who's in the league.
I know it's crazy because there's so little amount of players in there now. Because obviously, you know, a lot of them have fallen through the challenges just because there's lack of teams. But yeah, there's a couple, and I'll accept Rogue Shouts as well.
Yeah, I'm usually one for Rogue Shouts. I would say TJ Hurley is probably one of my favorites. Like, he's not the best at the game. Like, to be honest, he's probably in the lower percentage of good players. But like, he's one I used to watch play S&D before he was allowed, like before he was 18, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And obviously, he played in Advanced Warfare when he was 16. Then got taken out, same as Hook. And but yeah, TJ Hurley came back, was an absolute goat at S&D, and was just learning respawn on the job.
Yeah,
and I just quite like his play style, to be honest.
No, that's fair. I mean, you say he's in the bottom half. I know we've both got the CDL on a different monitor right now, and they're in the finals versus FaZe. So he's obviously the team's doing something right this year.
Yeah, he's hitting 17 at the minute though. So
yeah, well, I wasn't gonna mention that.
yeah, I'll allow him. Give it a TJ.
So that's like a lot of the COD stuff out of the way. I know you mentioned like you play football and you obviously play FIFA as well. Is there anything else that you like have any other hobbies, or is that pretty much just Call of Duty, FIFA, and football? The trifecta that every man needs.
I think that's pretty much the nail on there. To be honest, I like all sports. Like, if someone was saying like, "Oh, do you want to go and play tennis for an hour? Or do you want to come have a game of snooker or something like that?" I'd be more than down for that. So anything sporty. That's about it, really. Just something active, then something very inactive.
Fair enough.
That pretty nicely.
Okay, so that was like a lot of history about you, which is awesome. Thank you so much for all that. So now we're gonna jump into like essentially what some people I call the juicy part, which is like the journey. I know you've already mentioned part of your journey of how you started to where you are now, but we're gonna focus it around your past orgs and where we are today. Essentially, just me and you having this conversation. Obviously, you mentioned like, you know, you pub stomped for a while, then you wanted to look at like the next level of, you know, competition, and you started to compete on, you know, UMGs, game battles, etc. How did you go from that then to making Peachy? Like, how did you get to meeting Liv and Jazz essentially?
Oh.
I know this is why I said it's the meat now. Like, this is going to be potential long listen here, guys. So take a seat and be ready.
Well, the timeline of things is pretty straightforward, but the whole aspect of it varies. So, from playing COD 2, obviously through the pubs, and then into the little comp. Obviously, I've had like lots of friends in the S&D scene for years. They've all had their own mini orgs kind of things. So I think the first actual org was called Tax Gaming.
Okay.
And that was created by one of my friends called Huss, who doesn't really play COD as much now, but I think he's looking to get back into it. That wasn't really like an official org. It was just like more of a clan than an org. And yeah, it was quite good. We used to have like our own graphics designer, whatever, but we used to just solely play game battles, try and get in the top page kind of thing.
Yeah.
And move up from there. And then that was during Black Ops 3. What followed Black Ops 3 was Infinite Warfare. The tax gaming didn't become a thing in Infinite Warfare for a number of reasons. Obviously, owners got real lives. I think we were all at 18 this point, so we had real life stuff coming up. People moving away, big things coming. So I just played with people I met online, just doing some game battles here and there, seeing what's what, seeing what happens. And then after Infinite Warfare was World War II, if I'm not wrong.
I think so, something along those lines. I haven't got the list in front of me right now.
I feel like I've jumped. I feel like I've missed one. No, I can't have. But yeah, just literally World War II drops, and we're just playing, just continue the game battle thing, no orgs, no nothing. And then I met some better people, started playing with them, and won a Novam on Xbox, then switched to PlayStation, won a Novam on there, and was like, right, okay, we're starting to win money now, so what's next? Like, we can play wages all day, but that could get boring at some point, and we'll fall out of love with the game. So we thought, right, we'll go try out some respawn. So we're playing some respawn, playing some pro points, whatever. nothing for an org wise, just like putting our names out there, saying like, okay, this is what we do, this is what we can do. We like to do this, we don't like to do this. So World War Two happens, obviously just get a couple of pro points here or there. And then I believe it was Black Ops 4 after that. Now Black Ops 4 I was never part of an org, but that was the year that I started playing the more elite stuff, playing challenges. I racked up a lot of pro points that year, played with a lot of people. Played pro points with people you see in the league today, such as Insight. Play with Jet Detain, who just came out of the league and now plays for Knocked
Mm.
Play with Luke Bids, and that year them three came top 8 in that CWL champs.
Oh, nice.
For Team Singularity. So the level increased and increased every single year.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, what's next? So Black Ops 4, I think must have been halfway through. It was about the February time, maybe March. It was like, right, that's it. That was my day one for the Air Force. So all gaming stopped for basic training. So it was like, okay, I'm not part of anything. So I've got no ties to it anymore. I just miss playing the game. Like waking up, getting on, playing the game, doing my thing. And then I think must have been as soon as I got to phase 2 when we were allowed our stuff in our rooms again. It was like MW19. I was just playing game battles again with my ROLs from home, and they were all like saying, "Oh yeah, like you're carrying us all the time. You should go find a team. You should go find a team." Which I didn't go find a team. I wasn't really that fussed with it. Then Cold War happened. Just literally spent a year playing S&D, just learning the tricks of the trade kind of thing, getting my S&D back up to scratch because it's just something to fall back on. It's always something I've enjoyed doing.
Yeah.
The intensity is the strategy side. And then after that, Cold War was, I'm pretty sure it was Vanguard. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds about right.
That sounds right to me.
Yeah.
We'll go from Vanguard is when I started playing and representing the Air Force for gaming.
All right. Okay.
And yeah, it was good fun. Like obviously that was the first time I played in a league during Vanguard, and I had a lot of people say you've gone from like the one of the best people to the worst people in the space of like 2 gunfights, and it was like the consistency wasn't there because I've literally come off 3-4 years of S&D and not actually played Respawn, so it's like sometimes very good, sometimes very very bad. It was just no in between, but it was just learning that consistency and playing through it and keep learning. And then after that was MW2, couldn't get out of Diamond. I was like pretty much bang average at that. Obviously played a lot of S&D still. I played a lot of wages that year actually. That was quite a good year for S&D. Quite enjoyed it. Mikado.
That was a pretty good year to make money.
Yeah, like I made more than I lost, so I'll take that as a plus.
Yeah.
Then it was MW3 after that, and there wasn't much happening with like S&D. As people were moving on, not playing anymore. Didn't really get picked in 8s for like in the circles we were playing, so I spent a lot of time watching. But when I watch, I learn, so it's not too bad. Just didn't really get to grips with playing at the start, so I was like, okay, we'll try and get into Respawn and like try and learn that. So played a bit of Respawn, obviously representing the Air Force, and during that time something clicked in my brain saying like maybe I should like look down the XP list and see who I can like see if a team needs a player. Like I'm not the best, like I struggle to hit crim, so I just need to get in with a team that kind of know what they're doing, to then I'll be able to pick things up very very quickly and be able to like showcase what I used to do back in like Black Ops 4 days and things like that, because the game changed so much since then. And yeah, so I ended up playing with the Raspberries. They're owned by one of my friends in the Air Force, and it's a good org. It's more of a boys' club than an org, I would say. I've probably edited that bit out actually. But in a sense, it's like we're all friends. We've got 3 or 4 different teams, and we all try and try and advance, like try and get the best, try and get some wins, etc., etc. And then ideas started floating in my head saying, like, we can make this org actually like work. We can do this. We can get, like, since it was like male dominant, it was like, why don't we get a female team because they're up and coming, like get in the Sakura, and that would get the name out there and people start following and stuff like that. And they were like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then that fizzled out after a month. And then it was like, well, why don't we start hosting tournaments and like getting our name out there, have like Raspberry tournaments? And they're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. That never happened. And it was like, right, I've got all these ideas that I want to pursue and I can make happen. And they were like, oh yeah, but you've got to make sure it's all right with this guy first because he's above you. And I'm like, well, I don't want to ask permission to do something that I want to do as much because at the end of the day, this is my hobby, this is what I enjoy, and I feel like there's a gap, and I want to bridge that gap, and I know I can bring a lot of happiness and game time to a lot of people in the scene. So I hit up Jazz. I literally slid into those DMs.
So how did you know Jazz, or how did you two like connect first? Did you like play her, or did you what's the story there?
The story with Jazz, we played it once in her server when I think it was just a time where I was still in the house and the female that I live with disappeared. And
the female.
Yeah, that's a different story.
Oh, we're not going to go there. That's fine.
Yeah, not yet. I can come with a few more drinks.
I'd say Peachy after dark, but we're recording this at like 1 a.m. So
yeah. I'm open to talking about it. It's been over a year. Like
that's fine. We'll save that for a different occasion. Yeah. We're here for the Peachy stuff, and you not the full ins and out of your life story. So that's fine.
But yeah, I played Ace with Jazz, and like Jazz will be the first one to say I was bang average. I was not good, and it was like I would drop some kills, but I wouldn't know what I'm doing, wouldn't know where I'm going, whatever. And it was like, all right, well, I enjoyed playing, so like I'll keep Jazz in mind. And then it was during one of the Sakura games, I was coaching the Raspberry female team, and we were lining up against Jazz's Z2O team in playoffs, and we beat them. And I was talking to Jazz after the game. I was like, what happened there? Like, what was going on? Because it was crazy. It was a best of 3. And I think we took first map, lost the S&D, and then we had a lag out during the control, but the player rejoined, and we still won that round. And I think it was just head loss from there. I could be wrong with that. We'll save that one for Jazz.
Yeah, Jazz will have a completely different story, probably.
But I think after that we just kind of started talking in general, saying like, oh, I've got all these plans, like, but nobody's listening. I kind of want to like start my own thing, and I was more leaning towards like saying, oh, is there a space in Z2O and I can like kind of go. But then she started talking about Z2O, and it was more like, oh, she was sick of the people. She was like wanting to do this, wanting to do that. And it's like kind of a similar situation. So I was like, well, let me know, and we'll just start our own org.
Okay.
And then
the next day,
I think, to be honest, I don't think it was the next day. I think it was a few weeks actually. And she was like, something must have happened. It must have been a final show or whatever. And she just turned around and said, right, I've got a name for us, and we're doing this. And I was like, yep, heard. I'm on my way. And that was the birth of Peachy, June 26th, I believe. 22nd, 23rd, somewhere around there.
So we're like 7 months old now, give or take.
7 months old, yeah.
All right, okay. And where was Liv? Was Liv with Jazz at this time?
Yeah, Liv was with Jazz the whole way through.
So that'll be another episode where we dive into the history of Jazz and Liv, and we'll see how their stories corroborate with Ludo's and if they're very different or not. Awesome. Okay, so that's like basically from like how we are where we are today. Now obviously you've gone through literally everything about yourself, which, you know, thank you for sharing as well, because it's so great for me to like learn a little bit more about you, and I'm sure like everyone else who may be new to the org or may not know much about you, it's nice insight into your life. But how is the balancing of running an org, a job? You also play on a team in 2 leagues, 1 league,
2 leagues, yeah,
potentially 3 leagues soon.
I think we're going to stick to the two, but whether we switch leagues is a completely different matter
So
and a
okay,
conversation.
so two leagues minimum, and you also play sports and have a social life. How do you keep it all like? Are you tired?
No, I just don't sleep. So
I just don't sleep.
Yeah, the only thing you missed from that was I forgot. Like I had it in my mind, and
I wasn't gonna say a female. That was
like I've made a list of priorities, and that was bottom, so that left.
That's fair.
That was a.
But like, yeah, I mean, because that is a lot to juggle. Like you like that. I mean, like I said, you travel a lot for your job, because I know you've been in a Discord call with me, and you've been like sharing the screen, like just casually driving down the motorway at 4 o'clock in the morning. And like, I was like, I was playing football earlier on today. I've been to work. I got a league game tonight. And I'm just like, I mean, I'm a stay-at-home dad technically, and I'm up at 5 and I go to bed at whenever I do, and I'm exhausted. But I don't do that much in comparison to you. So it's like that's like, is it tough to do it all?
At the start, yes, but I think once you find the balance of being able to manage everything, and the biggest thing for me is not getting stressed about things. If things don't get done, and things like then time gets away, like that's it. Time just gets away. There's nothing you can do. There's one or two things you can do. You can sit there, stress about it, and be like, "Oh, I didn't get this done. We didn't get this done. Like, what am I gonna do?" Or we think, "All right, we've done the most we can today, and we'll pick up the rest tomorrow." But that might make us delayed a little bit, but there's going to be days where there's not much to do, and that's the catch-up days. That's where we like, okay, like I haven't got much to do here, so moving forward, we got this, and this, and we'll slowly build up that tick sheet of things to do, and then that'll decrease. And it's just literally finding a balance.
Yeah.
So it's like the thing that I remembered that was missing was I've still got my family 3 hours away.
That's true. So that's extra traveling as well to go and see them.
exactly that. So it's just finding a balance for everything, and it's just it used to be hard. It's a lot easier now because I kind of like prioritize things. Sometimes I set out my day, say I'm going to do this. Something will come up and I've got to change. So I'm like, right, plans out the window. We're going to do this instead. And most of the time, the plans go out the window when I wake up at like 4 p.m. and think, right, I've wasted a day, so we're not going to do anything, and just keep that list building up.
Yeah.
And then that's pretty much how I manage it. Just doing things as and when, and just getting on with it, really.
So any potential org owners or current org owners listening, basically the key to success is balance.
Balance is key.
Awesome. So the final thing we wanted to talk about just with Peachy at the moment is the state of Peachy and its future. So currently, correct me now, we have 9 teams competing.
Give or take.
Give or take. Give or take.
Let me check. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 teams.
See, I thought I was close. I thought it was 9 for some reason, but okay. So we have 10. So we have 10 teams competing. Now, I think we are the only org. Now, again, you probably can correct me because you've been around the leagues longer than I have. I've only been here for like 4 or 5 months. We field the most amount of teams across Absolute and XPL. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Like by a far margin as well. And over the past, at least since the time I've been here, they've been pretty successful, I'd say. Top threes, winning playoffs, second places. So that's got to give you guys, especially you live in Java, like a huge sense of pride. The fact that you're fielding so many teams and they're all doing well for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of teams come from like knowing a lot of people and being able to manage those people and putting people in the right places, putting them in the right leagues and things like that, making it so it's still competitive but not too easy.
Yeah, 100%. I'm a clear factor of that, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
what is now? I mentioned like 3 leagues a few minutes ago. Because there's also like ECL. Can you divulge information of what's going on there? I've heard rumors, but I'm not gonna say anything out loud. Can you divulge any information on this podcast? Any intel you can give us? Or what's going on?
There's potential that I could. I think.
There's a potential I could. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna.
Well, that's the thing. It's looking like a very strong league, to be honest. It's just the setup of it's good. It's got a lot of backing. There's a lot of people behind the scenes in that league, like trying to make it work. It's set to go live a week today,
Okay.
being the 20th of January. And yeah, we're just filling the divs, getting ready for the go ahead. We've got a invite league only at the top, which is for like the top 16 seeds, I believe, or the top 12. Can't remember.
Okay.
Not a lot. I'm not gonna go check.
It's fine.
and then I think Div 1 and Div 2 are also like the next seeds down. So if it's 1 to 12, then it's 12 to 24, then 24 to 36 kind of thing. So it's like the top 3 leagues are seeded.
Yeah.
And then your Div 3s are going to be like the best of the rest kind of thing. And then it goes down like that. Until you hit the Div 7. Div 7's apparently going to be a mix of 7 and 8.
Right.
With split playoffs. And then Div 8 is going to be a mix of Div 9 and 10 with split playoffs.
Okay.
Just so the winners and the people playing it feel like they're getting a bit more out of it. Like the room for improvements there, because they're going to be playing against better teams, playing with better people potentially. And the incentives there because they've got a bigger prize pool. I think Div 7's got £1,000 prize pool.
Jeez.
Third for a low div.
Yeah, that is.
I've seen anything like it.
That's huge. Do we have any Peachy teams going to be taking part in the ECL?
Yes, we're going to have PG Blinders in Div 7.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, that's great. So at least we'll have some representation there. Not fancying competing yourself, or?
Yes, I want to compete in it eventually. I think I'm just going to
see how it goes.
Watch how Season 1 runs, especially with Absolute being delayed and XP having an extra week on it, and having them 2 leagues, and then the 3rd league starting during like the time of playing them 2 leagues. That's 3 lots of games I've got to sort out. And as much as I absolutely love admin and absolutely love sorting games out, I love speaking to other people from different places, sorting out vetoes and stuff, I just don't want to do it.
That's fair.
Was that really? Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, you can't. I mean, I was speaking to Connor earlier on, and he was just like, "I'm pretty sure the person I'm speaking to is falling asleep." So it's like hitting blood out of a stone for some people.
Yeah, sometimes it's like 7 working days you get a response. And I was like, yeah, the game's yesterday. Like, you texting me now?
Oh, that's great. So the final question, I've called it "The future is bright, the future is peachy." What is now? I know that we've discussed some things. I know you may not want to divulge too much information. I respect that. I'm not gonna pry into it too much. But what can you tell us about the future plans of Peachy with regards to like teams, lands, or is there anything else that you can tell us that we may not know about that's coming up over the next 12 months?
I think the biggest thing, if I was going to sum it all up in one word, without revealing too much, would just be growth. Like, we're going to grow.
So 20 teams next season then?
Well, maybe not like not teams wise, but maybe we will have 20 teams. But that 20 teams might consist of other games rather than just Call of Duty.
Okay. So branching out into other esports essentially.
The potential's there, yeah.
All right. Okay.
At the minute, we've still got 2 esports running at the same time, which not a lot of people are aware of.
I'm aware of what the second one is. I'm aware it is FIFA. We have represented it in the FIFA scene, which is great.
Yes.
What would your ideal esport to break into would be?
Ideal esports. Honestly, it's something that I'm not really familiar with, but something like League or Dota, like one of the ones that get like huge recognition on Twitch, and like
Hmm.
yeah, they get millions of viewers just because them millions of viewers, like saying the Peachy name, will be like, all right, like who's this, and then that builds up an even bigger following,
Yeah.
and then with the bigger following attracts more well people, and then it attracts more sponsors, and it attracts more events and like more invites to other things, and it's like the more the more we get to do, the more it feels worth it, kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So like you like basically you want it's like a snowball effect. Like you get to like you get seen, it progresses, then it starts building and building and building more and more and more. That's essentially where that's the end goal for you guys essentially.
Yeah, it's like the end goal for us is to never stop growing, is to just become so big that it's like really big. I don't know what I was going with that, but to be honest, but
No
it's
comment.
like hmm, we I think it's more just we need obviously we know we need to walk before we run, so we're not going to try and like get a million and what like every single different esport out there to come represent the team, because simply there's not enough of us to make it happen.
Yeah. No,
So
that makes sense.
the initial plan was to start with COD, and because I've got history in competitive FIFA, it was like it seemed like a good time to get a pro FIFA player on and work through that scene kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And then obviously people have a lot of people in the org have different backgrounds, knowing different things, and it got to a point where Rocket League was being thrown around.
All right.
But we're toying with that idea. We need to. There's a lot of things we need to put in place first, but I think what we need to do first is grow,
Yeah.
and we need to get what we've got right. In essence, put all our stuff in a sock, and then before we add more socks to the pile.
I'm glad you said more socks. I was wondering where that was going, but that's fine. No, I but I get you. I get you. Basically, improve on what you've got and grow it into something even better. Essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
It's like anything. If you get the basics right, you're gonna look decent. But if you get the basics right while doing all the good stuff, you're gonna look amazing. But if you do all the like all the good stuff without doing the basics right, you're gonna look terrible,
Yeah.
because you, I'm trying to think of the terminology without saying a rude word. I don't know. We'll move on from that.
Okay. Moving on. So that's basically exactly pretty much what I wanted to hear from you guys. Well, from you regarding like the where we're going and the history. So again, thank you very much for that. So we're going to just move on now to just a few random questions I threw together just to see what your answers are, and it's just a bit of fun really at the end of the day. So we're going to start off with what's one thing that fascinates you or you would love to learn more about? As an example, mine is I love looking at the stars, and I would love to go into like astronomy more.
I think for me, I'll go the opposite way. I think I want to know like more about the ocean. Like what's underneath the ocean? Like obviously there's a sand bed. What's underneath the sand bed? Like
Hmm.
is there a lot of things uncovered that we don't know? Obviously with the Earth and the way it moves around so much and everything changing. Obviously you got continental drifting, your tectonic plates, whatever. That's a whole different subject.
Yeah.
Let's not get into that. But the way things were back in the day when there was like them two major continents and everything's moved around, what has fell in them gaps where what we now call seas?
Yeah. I mean,
That's
yeah,
that's
it's because there's potential that there's animals and wildlife that live so far down that we can't even go. You can't even go and see, which is
yeah,
like it's crazy.
yeah, exactly. Like there might be a whole other worlds inside our world that we don't know about, but because the pressure down there is too much for us and the pressure up here is too much for them, like we don't get to see each other or like know about each other.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense, and that actually leads me perfectly on to my next point: is do you believe in aliens?
Um, Honestly, I'm impartial. I don't know enough about it to comment, but I don't. What I will say to answer the question is I don't believe we are the only form of life in this universe. There's got to be something else.
That's exactly my thinking, because this ties into the next question. Because I'm one of those people, like, I've got to see it to believe it. But believing in aliens is the only thing that I believe in, or I think there is something out there without seeing it. Because I just think it's impossible that we are the only living species. I don't want to say like organism, because I'm not going to count like little bacteria as something as an alien, but like something that has a mind that is out there, basically.
Yeah, and I think we aren't the only form of life in the universe as well. Like, I think that was where I was going with that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. There has to be, like, all the vastness up there and all the different galaxies. There has to be something else, and I mean, I hope, touch wood, that I would see something, you know, in my lifetime. But that's another story.
Yeah, short and every day like mine, isn't it?
Yeah. So again, going back to like seeing is believing. Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes, and I will tell you why. Because I see them. I've seen them growing up.
Okay.
And I've had conversations with them. I've done all this mad, spooky stuff that my mother's told me about, because I don't remember it. I don't remember yesterday, never mind back then. But my mum's come to me with all these different stories, saying like, "Oh, you used to be able to like talk to your aunties and uncles and stuff like that. That were all died years ago." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, they were here. That's why I was speaking to them."
That's wild.
But yeah, that's the only reason. Well, not the only reason. The second reason is when I was out delivering pizzas one night, I saw a white figure walk straight through a wall, and that was just confirmation. And it wasn't just my eyes playing up, because I had my mate next to me, and I went, "Did you see that? That woman in a dressing gown just walked straight through that wall?" And he went, "Yeah." I went, "That's a ghost. Look."
Wow.
Down the street, and there was a brick wall. It wasn't a door. There wasn't an open garage or anything like that.
Wow.
I'm a firm believer they exist. Do they scare me? No. It just is what it is. Like, I say them, they're harmless. They're good for the environment. I think they pick litter up, probably. just trying to think of things.
You're the first person that's ever said to me that they actually believe in ghosts, which is insane. Because I don't know if again, it's one of those things, like, I don't know if my eyes were playing tricks on me, because back in when I was like 18, I used to work in my local, which was like literally down, 5-minute walk from my house, and you pass it to go to like the local village. And I remember going up there once. It was like probably like 11 o'clock. This is before pubs opened at like 11 o'clock. So I went up there to grab, to pick up some food, or I can't remember what it was. I picked up something, probably some cans of Monster or something. And I was walking back, and there's like 3 steps to go into the pub. And I swore that I looked over and thought I saw like a little girl sitting on the steps, and I didn't think anything of it. And then I carried on walking, and I looked over again, and there was nothing there. And I always thought to myself, it's too early in the morning for this. And I just passed it off as like, it's just my eyes playing tricks. Yeah. But yeah, that's the only example I've had. I mean, I've had creaking floorboards and stuff, but I think that's just because old houses. But
yeah, that's just houses, I think. I didn't believe in them until I seen them, and then like the more and more I seen them, it was like, yeah, surely.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, if I saw them as much as you say you see them, I'm not saying you're lying.
Yeah.
Because again, I can't. I've got to see it to believe it. So if I saw them as much as you did, then I would be a believer.
Yeah, that's the only reason I believe it. It's like word of mouth, or like, oh yeah, ghosts and that. It's just like, yeah, I've seen it, I believe it. I'll tell people I've seen them, they're not going to believe it because they haven't seen it themselves. That's just the way of life, though.
Yeah. It's quite hilarious. I'm looking at my camera now, and I've actually realized the gas in my chair has gone down. So I've lost about 3 inches of height since we've been having this conversation. Favorite food?
Favorite food? Oh, I'm a big foodie. I eat absolutely anything. To put a finger on, is this like a death row meal kind of thing? If like it was my last day on earth, what would I pick?
No. It's like this could be like just your favorite food. Like if you could eat it every single day. Just what would you have?
Honestly, I wouldn't go far wrong with a gammon steak.
Oof.
I love a gammon.
Oh, pineapple or eggs?
Both. You got to do both.
No, that's not the question. Pineapple or eggs?
Pineapple or eggs. It's mood dependent, really. If I fancy something sweet, obviously pineapple's the choice. But if I'm feeling more hungry, I will go egg because that's more filling.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite alcoholic, soft, and energy drink.
Okay, so alcoholic, as a lot of people in Peachy know, I am partial to a Budweiser, but my favourite is the Coors Light.
Okay, Coors Light. Okay.
Yeah. Favourite soft drink, as much as I'm drinking it right now, it's the only bottle I've got. I think my favourite has to be like Sprite or 7 or lemonade type thing.
Okay. Okay.
And then favourite hot drink,
And no, energy drink.
energy drink. Oh,
If you have a flavor in mind, you can say that as well.
yeah, for taste wise, I would probably say the Monster Ultra, the white one.
Yeah, that's my go-to.
But for like energy drink purposes, where it's supposed to like stimulate your electrolytes and make you like more energetic, it's got to be a Red Bull.
Yeah. Okay. I can rate that. Good choices. I mean, the only reason I choose Monster over Red Bull most of the time is because A, cost, and B, you get more in the can.
That is very true.
Like that's just the way I look at it.
Value for money.
Exactly. What would be your guilty purchase right now? Like if it's
Purchase?
yeah, like if you wanted, I don't know, if you wanted a 5090 really badly and you just had the money there and then you could buy it, like what would it be?
So let me just get this question right in my head. If I had a spare pot of money there that's not doing anything,
Yep.
and there's something I wanted right now, what would I get?
Yes.
I would probably, if it was open, probably get some sort of takeaway. Yeah, not gonna lie, because not very often I get one because obviously I'm not awake, or if I am awake, it's about breakfast time for me, my sleep pattern.
Okay. Fair enough.
But
Not what I was expecting, but that's fine. I can rate a food being a choice. That's fine.
on the other side, it's probably gonna be FIFA points. Like,
Yeah, if I guilty pleasure is 1 million FIFA points.
yeah, it's more the fact like I'm not bothered about like getting good players for like my team or whatever, making coins, trying to make money from it. It's literally just I just enjoy opening packs. I enjoy the surprise,
The thrill.
which is less of much of a surprise now because usually 9 times out of 10 you're not going to get anything good. But it's more just like, all right, I got 20 quid sat there. We'll put on some points and chance my luck. We might get a Pele, but chances are I'll get a Jordan Henderson.
No, that's fine. I write that. I mean, I have to change this question up or not use it as often because I'm going to be saying the same answer all the time. Mine's Pokemon cards. I've started a collection of 2 different sets so I can hand down to my kids. Like when I eventually move on, I'd be like, here's something that I collected, and it's for you. So if if someone said, "Oh, here's 100 quid," I'd be like, "Yeah, 100 quid Pokemon cards. Thank you very much." Yeah. I'll try and get those elite cards.
Yeah, I'm a very phasey person, so I went through a phase of like buying Lego, wanted every bit of Lego that ever was, kind of thing, and then I went through trainers. I was like, I want all these trainers because I love the style and I want every color. And then I would go through footy tops and I'll be like, right, I'm gonna order like a load of mystery boxes because it's essentially pack openings, but I'm getting T-shirts out of it. Like I'm a very, very phasey in that sense. So it's like it depends on the time
Yeah.
and what I'm feeling at the minute. But I think the default, what I've been consistent with over the years, is probably FIFA points. I think I lock in that answer.
Okay, that's fine. That's fair enough. I mean, yeah, they can add up in cost over time. So yeah, if you could buy them for free, I make that as a smart choice. Now I know that you are a big fan of your music, but who is your favorite band and what's your favorite song?
Favorite band? Oh, I don't think I've got one. I just listen. Uh, it, okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna answer this question by saying the answer, which is a good start.
That's the way it's supposed to work. Yeah, correct. Yeah, that'd be nice.
To the band I've seen the most.
Okay.
Which kind of adds up 2 and 2. The band I've seen the most is Stiff Little Fingers. which is a 70s, 80s punk rock band from Northern Ireland, if you've not heard of them.
Okay, I have not, but go on.
I think my favourite song by them is either Barbed Wire Love or Johnny Was, which is Johnny Was is a remake of a Bob Marley song, I believe.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a punk alternate. I used to go with my dad. And I was 14-year-old in a mosh pit with a load of 40-year-old sweaty bald men. Like, that's such fond memories.
What an experience that must be.
Pretty cool, obviously. Pretty cool. Yeah, it was absolutely tremendous.
Okay.
Coming out, ears still ringing. Like, yeah, this is the life. And then, yeah.
Going out with like more sweat than you came in, then you actually perspired yourself.
90% of that sweat's not mine.
Okay. 3 items you cannot live without.
3 items I can't live without. I'm going to say my phone, because obviously I live away.
If someone doesn't say phone, I'll be very surprised. So yeah, I'll give you that one.
People will say different things, I think, like trying to hide the fact that they're on the phone 24/7, but I'd be lost without mine.
Oh, 100%.
I'm going to say my bank card, because otherwise how am I going to get access to my monies?
Yeah.
And then I think the third one's probably going to be my car, because I'm not a big fan of public transport, I'll be honest. So, yeah, I think that's my 3 items I couldn't live without.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, yeah, I don't like being around other people that much either. So, yeah, that makes sense. Especially you having to wait for a bus is very annoying. All right. So we're going to try and wrap this up fairly quickly because we've been here for an hour. And like I said, we both have things to do tomorrow. So we don't want to be here 2 nights. So we're going to go through a would you rather and then onto a quick fire question. So we're just going to bash these out as quick as possible. Are you ready?
I'm born ready.
All right. Okay. Would you rather be chronically overdressed or underdressed all the time?
I would say probably chronically underdressed because I hate being too warm.
Okay. Everyone be able to read your thoughts or your internet history?
Internet history.
Give up aircon or heating or internet for the rest of your life?
Aircon or heating.
Okay. Buy 10 things you don't need when you're out or forget the one thing you always need?
Probably forget the one thing I need.
Okay. Personal maid or personal chef?
Personal chef.
Okay. As you've just reminded me that you have a load of washing on your bed behind you. That's.
Yes, I can do all the like stuff.
Would you rather be an extra in an Oscar-nominated film or be the star in a box office bomb?
I'd rather be an extra.
Okay, that's fine. Would you rather cuddle a koala or have fun with a panda? And I don't mean Connor.
Oh, damn. I would cuddle a koala. They're pretty cute.
Okay. This will be quite interesting. Would you rather spend a week in the forest or a night in a real haunted house?
Probably a week in a forest because I've done that.
Okay. Kind of cheating, but that's fine. I'll let you off. That's fine. Would you rather get a paper cut every time you turn a page or bite your tongue every time you eat?
Oh, paper cut all the way.
Yeah, that makes sense. And finally, would you rather drink gin with Ryan Reynolds or vodka with Dwayne Johnson?
Probably with Dwayne Johnson. I think he's probably got a few stories.
Definitely, for sure, he has. That's 100%. Yeah. Okay, so that's the would you rather. And now, quick fire. Are you ready for this?
Yes, ready as ever.
Okay. I'm not going to give you much time to answer. As soon as you answer, I'm asking the next question. So that's how quick it's going to be. Okay.
No worries.
If we can do this in under a minute, I'd be impressed.
Challenge accepted.
Okay. Cats or dogs?
Cats.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Superman or Batman?
Superman.
A night in or a night out?
A night in.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Glass half full or half empty?
Half full.
Owe money or owe a favour?
All money.
Call or text?
Call.
Family or friends?
Family.
PC or console?
PC.
Headphones or speakers?
Speakers.
Cake or pie?
Pie.
Pancakes or waffles?
waffles.
Eat in or eat out?
Eat out.
Oh, okay. That was 44 seconds. So under a minute. So well done. I'll have to remember that for that. Well, maybe we should have a little leaderboard for how quickly people answer. So it's in the pod now, 44 seconds. That is the time to beat for anyone else coming on.
You got to have like a Top Gear chart.
The thing is, I have to change the questions out every week because everyone's going to have them all memorized of what I'm going to ask. So that's the only downside. Right, so that's going to be that is this week's episode with our guest Ludo. So again, Ludo, thank you very much for coming on tonight. If you just want to show the jersey for everyone, I know you've been wearing it the whole time. Representing the Peachy jersey. It is available to buy if anyone does want it. The link will be in the description. I'm still waiting to get mine. That's why I'm not wearing one currently. Maybe management can sort me out with one for doing this. Who knows? We'll find out in a future episode. Next week, I believe we're going to have Liv on the podcast, so it'd be nice to see her side of the story with regards to, again, how she got into the situation that we are now with Peachy. And also coming up, we're going to be having interviews with captains from different leagues to see how their season's going and just getting a bit of behind the scenes with the teams. And if some players want to have interviews too, we'll also do them. And maybe we might make it into like a round table with some other members of other leagues or management sit in, just see like how the leagues work as well, and get a broader look of how everything all ties in together. So again, guys, thank you very much for listening. I hope you've stayed through the just over an hour that we've put you through. It's been a lot of fun. Ludo, any final words?
No, just thank you for having me on. Obviously, first one, so always a pleasure. And yeah, just looking forward to hearing what everyone else has got to say.
Yeah, it'll be. I'm looking forward to seeing the comments and any feedback we get.
I'll be reading them and probably weeping.
Well, hopefully not too much, but we will see. So again, guys, thank you very much for being here. Again, this is Supah and Ludo. Have a great evening. Take care. Love you all. Bye.